Thanks for staying with us on The Spinner. We're discussing the outcome of the Egyptian presidential elections with social and political activist Khatib and former ambassador to Egypt and senior researcher of the Middle East at Jerusalem Center for Public Affairs, Ambassador Zvi Mazel. I want to go first back again to Cairo to Jacob Wirtschafter. Jacob, thanks for sticking around with us. So Sisi's having trouble battling ISIS in the Sinai, as you mentioned. There's a very tough economic turndown. Is the low turnout the Egyptian way of showing their dissatisfaction? And should Sisi now actually be worried and keep looking over his shoulder?
Well, first of all, they're claiming victory in the battle against ISIS, at least the military is here in Cairo. And on the economic data, look, unemployment is down and foreign investment is up because they did a big IMF program on me. So I think that's a key thing you need to know. The currency devaluation has led to growth here in terms of foreign investment and job growth. Now, who is missing from this election? Young people. And who made the Tahrir Square uprising? Young people. That's where Sisi needs to be looking, because about 30-some% of the Egyptian population is under the age of 25. So clearly, he's got to pivot now and make sure that he's meeting the education and social service needs of Egypt's young people, or there are problems for this administration.
The young people didn't come to vote.
Yes, I saw it. Listen, Sisi did not pretend to introduce democracy in Egypt. He said the most important thing is economy. So he did what he had to do, and with great success. And if you go to the economic experts, as Bloomberg, as IMF, and World Bank, you will find the right answer.
Right.
And now, about the loan from the IMF, he took a loan of $12 billion for 3 years, yeah? Accepting the conditions of the IMF to float the lira, the Egyptian lira, to introduce the VAT, value-added tax, to cancel most of the subsidies, yes, and many other things. This was a very difficult and painful surgery to Egypt. This is the only thing to do, okay? And he did it.
And he did it. Okay, Mouad, you know, compared to Mubarak, who was removed from power after nearly 30 years in the Tahrir Square Revolution in 2011, is Sisi a stronger or a weaker leader compared to him?
Well, for me, listen, as a human rights activist, it doesn't really matter whether he is stronger or weaker. What matters is human rights, is stability, is security. Now Sisi is only giving the people of Egypt, censorship, insecurity, poverty. I mean, people now can't even afford to buy bread. And this is what the aspects that we must look at, not the economy. What is the economy worth if you are continuing to kill people? I can't understand that a diplomat is defending Sisi, claiming that he gave people good economy, and he is not, honestly. And let's not forget the loans he took from the Arab countries at the expense of democracy, at the cost of suppressing people, killing them.
In the Arab world, you know it very well.
Please let me finish. Now there are more than 60,000 political prisoners, according to Human Rights Watch, in the Egyptian prisons. New prisons were opened. Now Egypt is being transformed into a large jail, not a country.
You can't deny but you can't deny the human rights issue.
Yes, human right comes after economy, because
why?
Yes, I tell you why. Very, very easily.
How can that be? How?
I'll tell you how. Sisi said many times and repeated it, and especially in the memorandum he wrote after he finished his studies in the United States as an Egyptian officer. He wrote and he said, democracy probably is the most important way to govern a country. Yes, but you cannot impose democracy on Arab countries like that, on Muslim countries. You need, first of all, education and economy, and this is what he's doing. So, I mean...
So meanwhile, it's okay to jail people?
Just a moment, Rega.
How long does he need?
I don't know. You don't know.
Why Morsi wasn't given even 1 year? Why?
What he did was supposed to be done, because there is no way that this economy will succeed otherwise.
Why wasn't Morsi given that opportunity?
Listen, even in Israel in the 50s, in the 60s, we did the same thing. Okay, we gave food to.
It was a military rule.
What?
It was a military.
Okay, so military.
So you are with military against rights.
Listen, you would like people to have human rights and die?
They are not having any.
They have been dying in Egypt.
Okay.
Most of the people in Egypt are very.
So are you saying, Zvi, do you think that Sisi has any pro-democracy reforms in mind?
Yes, democracy will come later. Democracy will come later. Absolutely. I don't know when, but the only way to save Egypt is to deal with the economy. He has been doing it very, very well.
What do you make? Go. You want to respond to that?
I'd like to make a quick note about the very low turnout, despite the bribes, despite the threats against the Egyptian people that if you don't go to vote, then you are going to jail, and that happened. Many people actually voted forcibly.
But this is for Sisi. You don't understand.
Listen, when the referendum...
For Sisi, the election was a procedure to be followed. That's all. Not democracy. It was to regain power again and to finish his job.
What is the point of having power if you can't serve the people? But actually, you are using that power to kill people. And when the vote on the Constitution was held, if you saw posters promoting the people to vote, it said, vote yes to Constitution, no to terror. As if you vote no against the referendum, then you are supporting terror.
He's expected to rule for just one more term. But do you think Sisi is actually going to make any constitutional amendments to stay longer on?
Oh, definitely. That is happening already. I mean, such an election that we are
just like Putin
witnessing. Did. Even worse. At least, Putin was,
he's supposed to stay until 2022. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think he'll stay longer, Sisi?
Yeah.
Do you think he's going to make any amendments to the Constitution?
The West is happy about it.
The West is happy about it?
Of course. There are rumors about it. Maybe yes, maybe no, I don't know. It depends upon...
Do you think that's a good thing?
No, it's not a good thing to remain in power so many years, absolutely. But Egypt is not an economy. Syria, democracy. Syria is not a democracy. Iraq is not a democracy. No Arab country is democracy. The first thing to do is economy, and he has been doing it.
They tried to be a democracy. They tried to be a democracy when Morsi was elected by democracy, but that didn't last, did it?
Morsi was not elected by democracy. Listen, how come? I tell you the story.
We have a minute left.
I tell you the story. The Muslim brothers who were going around the villages and telling to the people, if you don't vote Morsi, you will go to hell. And they voted Morsi.
Is that right?
Yes,
is that right?
You know very well.
How did Shafiq... Actually, facts testify against this. These are false lies. Sorry.
No.
Morsi won 52% of the votes against Ahmed Shafiq, who won 49%.
Yes.
So that is democracy. Okay. And may I ask you, are you against democracy for
guys? That is all the time we have. All the time we have.
No, but
guys, all the time we've got.
Are not ready for
thanks to our guests, Ambassador Zvi Mazel and Mouad.Khateb. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show with Chief Diplomatic Correspondent Nina Larson in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much.